watched an animated movie that just left you laying in bed at 2 a.m. looking at the ceiling thinking, what in the hell was that? Yeah, we all have those, and today we are counting down the creepiest animated movies that genuinely traumatized a generation. These aren't just spooky, these are the kind of movies that get under your skin. They mess with your head and still feel wrong in all the best ways. So let's dive in, pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this.
Would you know the devil if you saw him? Would you know his face, his eyes?
Alright, so crazy, creepy, scary, way too adult animated movies. I don't care how you want to label them. We have 10 of them right here that definitely should come with some kind of a warning label. And the first one at number 10 kind of hurts a little bit. It is Scooby-Doo's Zombie Island from 1998. And the reason this one hurts a little bit is because it kind of betrays what Scooby-Doo purists think of as Scooby-Doo. Because for decades, Scooby-Doo taught us the golden rule, and that was that every monster was just some jerk in a rubber mask, blaming you meddling kids for messing up his plan, and just leaving you with that feeling that maybe there was something supernatural out there, but Scooby-Doo wasn't going to confirm that to you until Zombie Island. Because when the zombies show up in this one, it gets real. Real zombies rising from the swamp, real werecats draining life force. Not Life Force the movie, but kind of the same thing. Because you got actual body horror here, life force is being drained, faces melting like wax, heads getting ripped off and tossed around like footballs. The gang is legitimately in danger in this movie. There's no easy outs, no fake villain revealed at the end, with the meddling kids. Those poor souls trapped on Zombie Island for 200 years trying to warn the gang before they get turned to. Man, this one took the comfort blanket from Scooby-Doo and set it on fire and said, yeah, all this is real. Finally, you knew it as a kid. You just knew it was real. Today, we are confirming it, and is still one of the most rewatchable of all those Scooby-Doo movies. But damn, it could definitely scare the hell out of you in all the best ways. Scooby-Doo Zombie Island comes in at number 10. Now at number 9, we go to 1982 for The Secret of NIMH. And Don Bluth on this, Don Bluth in general just said, here, you want something creepy? Hold my beer. And he did it. He took Disney and said, you know what? I'm going to give you one of the most intense and creepy animated movies ever. Miss Brisby is just a tiny widow mouse trying to save her sick son from the farmer's plow. But then you meet the rats of NIMH, super intelligent because of brutal government experiments, needles, escape attempts through air vents, death, all the Don Bluth good stuff. The Great Owl, absolutely terrifying. The magic amulet sequence, beautiful but very eerie. And the whole time you're trying to watch this tiny little mother risk everything against impossible odds. This movie definitely respects kids. Don Bluth respected kids. And he did so enough to show you real stakes, real fear, but also real courage. And yeah, it left a mark. Secret of NIMH comes in at number 9. Now, number 8, I got a different one for you. Technically, this is a short film that took 58 years to finish. It is Destino, finished in 2003 by Salvador Dalí and Walt Disney. And yes, it took 58 years from the time they started it. There is a whole massive story about this movie, but good Lord, it is surreal nightmare fuel. Melting clocks, faces melting, turning into statues, faceless statues coming to life, a woman being turned into a dandelion-headed ballerina and then into a bell. She can't escape. It looks like this living hell of a nightmare. Grotesque faces on turtles, shifting deserts, shifting body horror in this thing, a constant feeling that time itself is broken, which is something that the short actually takes on, but it does it with no dialogue. Just haunting music and Dalí's wild imagination mixed up with Disney's craftsmanship. And yes, those two worked on this together while they were still here. It was picked up and finished in 2003. And you watch it and think, was this supposed to be some sort of kids anthology? And this is just the first part, because it feels like a nightmare fever dream you can't wake up from. It's short, but it sticks with you. Destino comes in at number 8. Now, number 7 is one that I just can't. I've watched it once and I can't watch it because I love dogs. And I'm talking about 1982's The Plague Dogs. And this one is from the same director as Watership Down. Hold that thought. You've got 2 dogs who escaped from a brutal animal testing lab, and one had his brain experimented on, the other was drowned and revived over and over. That's enough scar tissue in the making right there. But what follows is a heartbreaking journey through the English countryside as they try to survive while the world hunts them as plague dogs. And the animation is gorgeous in this one. The voice acting is raw, but the ending is one of the most devastating endings in all of animation. This isn't sad for kids. This is adult level tragedy wrapped up in fur, and when it's dogs, I just can't do it. For those reasons, it ends up on this list at number 7. Now at number 6, we go to Tim Burton for 2009's 9. And he actually produced this one. This one isn't just a Tim Burton directed movie. He produced this one, and it is a post-apocalyptic ragdoll horror animated film. And yes, I said all of that correctly, because after humanity wipes itself out with machines, hello AI, we've been warned, 9 little like Stitch Punk creations are made from a scientist's soul, and they wake up in the ruins, and the world is gray, it's broken, it's filled with terrifying mechanical beasts that want to harvest their souls. And the atmosphere in this one is super thick. It's got that steampunk kind of thing to it. The designs are creepy and cool because of that. And watching these tiny little handmade characters fight for survival in a dead world definitely hits different. It's dark and it's beautiful. It actually is strangely hopeful, which is a little bit different tone than a lot of these on this list. But those machines and what they are trying to do is evil and creepy on a different level. 9 comes in at number 6. Now at number 5, we have a classic from when I was a kid. It's 1982's The Last Unicorn. And this one is, surfacely, it's beautiful. It's a poetic big fantasy that somehow also contains one of the most terrifying monsters in animation history, the Red Bull. And no, I'm not talking about the drink. I'm talking about the creepy Red Bull. That scene where the unicorn is forced to become human, the harpy, the witch's casual cruelty in this movie, it is full of melancholy. It is full of loss. It asks big questions in a kid's animated movie about immortality, mortality, regret, and what it truly means to be alive. And the Red Bull sequence, a lot of people legitimately have had nightmares about that one over the years, and just the kind of darkness permeating underneath this film. And it is a G-rated movie that felt anything but. The Last Unicorn comes in at number 5. Now at number 4, I'm going to cheat just a little bit because this is not a movie. This is an animated series that dropped right after I graduated high school, believe it or not. It is Spawn, the animated series from 97 through like 99. And this one wasn't for kids. It wasn't really directed at kids, though it's based on a comic book. So there's the gray area there. And plenty of kids much younger than me found it. And Todd McFarlane's Spawn on HBO was super raw, super violent, relentlessly dark, and beautifully cinematic storytelling. You've got hell, betrayal, redemption, demons, demonic deals, and Al Simmons, a dead soldier, returned as the Hellspawn, trying to hold on to what's left of his soul and find redemption. And Keith David's voice performance in this is absolutely legendary. And the animation for its time was gritty, wild, adult, had a little anime edge to it with the comic book style. You had nudity, you had full-on violence and hell monsters in this thing. And the themes are way heavier than anything you would have found in a Saturday morning cartoon, that is for sure. If you stumbled on this as a preteen, it probably left a permanent impression. Maybe it made you a comic book and a horror fan, but it deserves to be here. Incredible series to this day. I just wish it had gone longer. Spawn, the animated series, comes in at number 4. Now at number 3, remember I said wait just a minute? Well, we are here now at 1978, I believe, the Watership Down. And Watership Down is one that whenever I talk about animated movies or creepy kids movies, everyone in the comments is Watership Down, Watership Down, Watership Down. And it traumatized an entire generation of British and American kids. Bright eyes playing over rabbits getting gassed, shot and torn apart, the black rabbit, the bloody battles, the sheer brutality of nature and man are all on display in this movie. It looks like a cute animal story on the surface. Then it hits you with just fistfuls of existential dread, violence, and one of the most haunting soundtracks. We hadn't talked about that a lot. You find one of those in here, but parents might have rented this thing thinking it was like Disney. It wasn't, although Disney was darker than most people remember. But a lot of us who watched it early definitely felt it and weren't quite the same after. You didn't come out unscathed from Watership Down. It comes in at number 3. Now at number 2 is another movie from 2009, which means we didn't stop getting creepy, scary animation back in the 80s or 70s. No, it kept going. It's still there. But this one is Coraline, and this one's very uncanny valley to me, very creepy. The other mother, the buttoned eyes. This was actually parodied on a Simpsons Halloween episode. But that slow, sweet smile while she offers to sew buttons over your real eyes so you can stay forever. The stop motion is beautiful. It's well done, but it is also unsettling and adds to the creepy feeling of this movie. When you have that, something about that, the uncanny valley, the way they move, the way it's real but not real. It's all those things. The movie is super creepy, and you've got that neglected kid vibe in here, and the parallel world that slowly reveals the horror there, the needlework, the lost children's souls. This thing is super dark. The movie is a masterpiece for creeping just dread that's underneath. Kids who watched it still talk about the button-eyed nightmares decades later. Yeah, because this thing is, almost 20 years old at this point. Still super creepy. Had to be here. Coraline comes in at number 2. Now at number 1, and there's a lot that could be on here. I've done other lists like this before. This one drops in some different ones, but one that you cannot leave off anytime you talk about movies like this is 1985's The Black Cauldron. Now this is Disney's darkest hour, maybe, right here. And it just proves that they could go very, very dark. And because they have some other dark skeletons in the closet. Fantasia, Night on Bald Mountain, anybody? But this one, you've got the Horned King, and he is raising the dead. Literal skeletons crawling out of their graves to form an undead army. The Cauldron Born sequence on here, that final moment when the Horned King gets his flesh literally ripped away as he sucked into the cauldron. This was Disney trying to go full on dark horror fantasy, and they went super hard on it to the point where the test audiences were terrified. Scenes got cut. Disney has often tried to bury this one in the background where people can't find it, so it's kind of forgotten. But what remains is still one of the creepiest things Disney has ever produced. The atmosphere is oppressive and creepy in this one. The villain is nightmare fuel. And for a lot of us 80s kids, this is the one that proved Disney could scare the hell out of you. And for that reason, the Black Cauldron is number 1. So there you have it. Just a few, because there's a lot of animated movies and series that snuck past the just for kids label and left permanent scars. I could do an adult list of this. You've got like Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust. You've got, I mean, honestly, Heavy Metal is pretty creepy and twisted. There is a lot of creepy animation out there, and I mean that in the best possible way because I enjoy it. But let me know, which one of these do you remember that creeped you out, that traumatized you the most? Did any of these mess you up and kind of ruin you for other animated films? Drop it in the comment. I read all the comments, y'all, and I try to respond to every single one. Right now, we're in a halfway to Halloween phase as I record this, and we're kind of celebrating that with all horror and spooky and creepy stuff. But these movies hold up no matter when you watch them. And if you enjoyed this, I got plenty more coming. Always lists, deep dive, nostalgia essays, so much. I love sharing movies and talking about them with you. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, hang around. If you'd like to support what we're doing here a little bit more, you can join my Patreon. The link is always in the description, and you'll get your name and lights on every single video. Behind the scenes looks at my horror filmmaking, special members only videos, physical media deep dive reviews, and so much more over there on Patreon. And everything helps the channel, and I really do appreciate it. But hey, which one of these traumatized you the most? Was it Watership Down? Was it the Black Cauldron? Or did it just make you love horror movies? But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.